Hey everyone, welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today on the iPhone 16 Pro. 6 months later, after all the hype has died down and people have actually been using this thing. Going beyond those initial reviews we all saw.
Yeah, exactly. Those reviews that are like, oh, it's great, 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
But they only use it for like, an hour.
Yeah. So we're going to get into all that, all the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
See if the iPhone 16 Pro actually lives up to the hype.
The hype, yeah, especially all that, it's glow time AI stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Apple Intelligence, the AI genie in our pocket.
It's supposed to revolutionize everything.
Right. So is it actually doing that? Or is it more like, oh, it can change my emoji's hair color now? Like, come on.
Seriously. We'll get into all of that, but first, I think the thing everyone's been talking about is that new camera control button. Some people are like, this is brilliant, it's a game changer. Other people are like, this is the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, I think Apple Insider loved it, especially for, quick access to settings. Like when you're trying to take a picture of, like a toddler, doing something cute, it can be handy.
Right, because every second counts. But then you've got The Verge.
Oh, The Verge was not impressed.
They called it fiddly.
Yeah, they said they kept accidentally triggering it.
I mean, can you imagine? You're trying to take a picture and suddenly it switches to slow motion video or something?
The worst. But here's the kicker.
What's that?
Apparently the button isn't even fully functional yet.
Wait, seriously?
The Verge said Apple's planning a future update to add a 2-stage shutter.
But no word on when that's actually happening.
So yeah, it's kind of like hey, we've got this cool button, but it doesn't really do much yet. Just wait.
Oh, Apple, classic. So listeners, I'm curious. Are you team button or team touchscreen?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
And while you're there, tell us about your battery life experience, because that's another big one. Apple was boasting about the longest battery life ever on the Pro Max.
Oh yeah, longest battery life ever, based on watching videos on repeat.
Not exactly real-world usage, is it?
Definitely not. So what are people actually experiencing?
Well, reviewers like Joshua Chang and Marquise Brownlee.
Okay, those guys actually use their phones.
Yeah, they said it's basically on par with the iPhone 15 Pro, maybe a little bit better.
Okay, so not a huge difference then.
But the Pro Max, on the other hand, John Rettinger and Greg's Gadgets were pretty impressed with that.
Ah, so if you want all-day battery life, you gotta go big.
Pretty much, yeah. I guess it's all about trade-offs, right?
It always is with these things.
But at least Apple finally improved the charging speed.
Oh yeah, that's a big win.
45-watt wired charging and 25-watt MagSafe.
So no more waiting around forever for your phone to juice up.
Definitely a welcome change. So listeners, think about your own usage. Are you a power user who's constantly pushing the limits?
Or are you more of a casual user?
How much does charging speed actually matter to you?
Yeah, tell us all about it in the comments.
Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or maybe I should say the missing genie in our pockets.
Oh, here we go.
Apple Intelligence. Remember all those promises? The AI that was going to change our lives.
I was ready for my phone to schedule my dentist appointments, write my emails.
Right. And what do we get?
Well, so far it's a little underwhelming.
A little. Reviewers like Joshua Chang, Greg's Gadgets, The Verge, even Marquise Brownlee, everyone's saying the same thing. It's just not there yet.
They all seem kind of disappointed, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Genmoji's fun, I guess, but it's not exactly revolutionary.
My emoji can do the Macarena now.
Woohoo. Problem solved, right?
Exactly. And the photo cleanup tool, it's decent.
It can remove some background objects.
But other phones have been doing that for a while.
So nothing groundbreaking there.
And let's not forget that new Siri animation.
Oh yeah, very sleek, very modern.
But it doesn't actually do anything new.
It's like putting lipstick on a pig, basically.
Pretty much. The bottom line is, that context-aware Siri we were promised, the one that was supposed to, read our minds.
Yeah, that's still nowhere to be seen.
So are we all just going to patiently wait for Apple to deliver?
Or are we looking for a phone that's already a brainiac?
Tough questions, folks. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
But don't go anywhere yet. We've got a whole lot more to cover. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive coming up after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, before you all ditch your iPhone 16 Pros and go back to flip phones.
Or carrier pigeons.
Yeah, carrier pigeons, exactly. Let's talk about some of the AI stuff that is actually working.
Okay, so there's hope for us AI enthusiasts yet.
There is. One area where Apple's making some progress is in image processing.
Okay, image processing. So, what does that even mean for us normal folks?
Well, I mean, your photos are going to look even better.
Oh, okay, I like the sound of that.
Right. They've got this new feature called photographic styles.
Photographic styles, huh? Is that like filters?
Kinda, yeah, but it's more than just filters.
More than just filters. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's like it customizes the look of your photos. You can adjust the tone, the color, the warmth, all that stuff.
So I can finally make all my photos look like they were taken in a golden sunset.
Exactly. But here's the cool part.
Lay it on me.
It uses AI to do it intelligently.
AI. Always with the AI.
I know, right? But in this case, it actually works.
So it's not just slapping a generic filter on everything.
So it analyzes each scene and applies the style in a way that, like, actually looks good.
So it's like having a professional photographer editing all your photos.
That's the idea, yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here. But what about Siri? Any signs of her becoming our AI BFF yet?
Well, she's not quite there yet, but she's getting closer.
Closer, huh? In what way?
Remember how annoying it is to deal with a ton of notifications?
Ugh, don't even get me started.
Like, especially those group chats that just won't quit?
Yeah, it's like they have a life of their own.
Well, Apple Intelligence is trying to help with that.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Tell me more.
It uses AI to analyze your notifications and group them together.
So I don't have to scroll through a million little red dots.
Exactly. It even summarizes the key points of those long conversations.
Ooh, that's actually pretty neat.
Right. It's like having a little helper who sifts through all the digital clutter.
I could definitely use one of those.
And there's more.
There's more.
They've also integrated ChatGPT into Siri.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like the thing everyone's talking about.
That's the one.
So what does that mean for Siri?
It means you can ask her more complex questions and get more nuanced answers.
So she's basically a walking, talking encyclopedia now.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, now that's impressive. But what about that whole context-aware Siri thing? The one that was supposed to, like, know what we want before we even ask.
Ah, yes, the holy grail of AI assistance.
Is that still just a pipe dream?
Well, it's hard to say for sure. Apple, as you know, loves to keep things under wraps.
They're like the magicians of the tech world.
Exactly. But if we look at what they've done so far.
Like with the photographic styles and the notification summaries.
Right, it seems like they're building towards something bigger.
Laying the groundwork,
Yep.
so to speak.
Exactly. They're setting the stage for a truly context-aware AI experience.
Okay, now I'm really curious to see where this goes. But let's be realistic for a second.
Mm-hmm.
What if this is all just hype? What if Apple Intelligence never actually lives up to the promises?
It's a possibility, yeah. I mean, we've been burned before.
So many times.
But here's the thing about Apple.
What that?
They have a history of taking their time and getting things right.
Okay, so you're saying we should trust the process.
I think so, yeah. They've earned that much, at least.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, we've got a whole bunch of other upgrades to talk about, so stick with us. We'll be right back to cover all that. And for the final act of our iPhone 16 Pro deep dive, we've talked about the camera control button, Apple Intelligence. Now let's get into some of those other upgrades, and maybe some downgrades too.
Because no phone is perfect, right?
Definitely not. But hey, let's start with the positives.
Okay, so Greg's Gadgets mentioned the improved thermals.
Oh, yeah, that was a big complaint with the older models.
They used to get so hot, especially when you're gaming.
Like holding a little hand warmer.
Right, but apparently that's been fixed with the 16 Pro.
That's good to hear. What else?
Well, we've also got Wi-Fi 7.
Wi-Fi 7, fancy.
Which basically means super fast download speeds.
So no more waiting around forever for that giant game to download.
Exactly. And for all the audiophiles out there,
Ooh, audio files. I like it.
the iPhone 16 Pro has studio quality microphones.
Seriously?
Yeah, so your voice memos, your podcast recordings, they'll all sound amazing.
Like you're in a professional recording studio.
Well, almost. But definitely a big step up in quality.
Okay, those are some pretty impressive upgrades. But you know there have to be some downsides, right?
Oh, of course. No phone is without its flaws.
So spill the tea. What's got people grumbling?
Well, Joshua Chang mentioned the new design makes the phone heavier and a bit more prone to wobbling, apparently.
Wobbly, like it's going to fall over on its own.
Well, maybe not that bad, but it's definitely something to consider.
Especially if you're big clumsy, like me.
Right. And then there's the color selection.
What about it?
John Rettinger called it boring
Boring.
compared to the regular iPhone 16, which has all those vibrant colors.
Oh, so the Pro is all business, no fun.
Pretty much, yeah. You've got your black, your white, and your natural.
Thrilling.
But hey, I guess that's the trade-off for being a pro, right?
I suppose so. So there you have it, folks. The iPhone 16 Pro, 6 months later. It's got its highs and lows, its triumphs, and its quirks.
But overall, it's a solid phone with a lot to offer.
especially with that Apple Intelligence potential still waiting to be unlocked.
Who knows what the future holds?
Maybe in another 6 months, we'll be doing a whole new deep dive.
And maybe by then, Siri will finally be able to make us that sandwich.
We can only hope. But for now, we want to hear from you. What do you think of the iPhone 16 Pro? Love it, hate it, somewhere in between. Let us know in the comments. We always love hearing your thoughts. And that's a wrap for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Until next time.